finish cleaning out the hole. Might be pretty tough to spear. There's a lot of light coming in from the ground. There's no snow available. I'll try to bank it a little bit. As much as I can find snow for. I know there's a couple guys that are set up not terribly far from me, and they've got their lawn chairs. They've got their lawn chairs set up. They're just chilling outside. It's beautiful out. I was hoping tomorrow would be a tip-up day, but apparently sucker minnows are hard to come by right now. Okay, that'll be good for now. Oh, 2 feet? Over 2 feet? There's plenty of ice. Plenty of ice. All right, get the rest of the stuff. Get the chair set up. I'm gonna grab the shovel and try to shovel around. See if we can block off some of that light. much snow left. Let's see if that helps. My rope was melted in. That helped a little bit. Okay. Oh, let's see here. Okay. Yeah, I know it is. I'm trying something new. And it's a little more challenging to set things. I need, let's see. I definitely got a much later start than I wanted. And it was tough to find sucker minnows. Pull you out. Hang you up there. Get you on. Can at least get the decoy down, Matt. Okay. You sit right there. Why is my truck still on? That's what I want. Grab my coffee. Hang up the keys so they don't fall in the hole. Okay. Oh, I need sucker metal. A giant sucker minnow. That's all they had was the big uns. My goodness. We'll use the smallest one of the bunch. The rest of them could be taken home and filleted. We're almost there. Okay. Okay. Getting the rope undone. Get that tied off. And then we'll send the decoy down. All right. Clean this up a little bit. Yeah, so I'm trying to throw it on underneath. That's a hard angle. I'm not even bothering setting up a heater today. Okay, now let's set you guys down. Let's send you down. Go do that voodoo. I can't see. All right. Adjust our mirror a little bit. There we go. I should have gotten bigger suckers. This is the smallest one of the whole bunch. Believe it or not. That was out of the four. I got four of them. This was the smallest of the four. Okay. Now that we're actually fishing, now I gotta figure out the rest of my stuff. Or at least try to. Or at least try to. Did that zoom out? I didn't want it to zoom out. I wanted it to zoom in a little bit. What are the odds anybody could check on TikTok if I'm live on TikTok right now? Well, you're getting pretty nervous. Try to zoom in again a little bit. Did that zoom in or zoom out? That's as far as it zooms in. I should almost build a sleeve to go around the wood on the inside to block off any light. That'll be a for next year project. I have other ideas I want to explore with this thing too. You know the trailers, like the drop houses, but it's the whole frame, like from the front, what do you call it, the tongue lifts up. I would love to look into mounting or installing something like that on this house, and then it could just be pulled around. That'd be kind of nice. like pulled around on the road and stuff. I mean, probably wouldn't be all that expensive to do. I mean, not cheap, but not thousands of dollars. Oh, that's a big bass. Yeah, a big bass. A big old bass. I'm sure I just scared the piss out of that. I should have brought my bucket in. Oh, what a pain in the ace this is. All right, now let's see. Can I edit this at all? Alrighty. Close that for now. Trying a new system, trying to learn it all as I go. I don't have my other phone going yet. We'll get there. We'll get there. How do I save now? Like that. I think that fixed my title. At least on YouTube it did, I think. Okay. I need now to go to okay. There we go. I don't think I'm live on TikTok, but I didn't do anything different. Didn't do anything different, so I don't know. What time are you guys heading to the Croy? Gonna be there at 1 again? I didn't really give myself a whole lot of time to do any spearing today. Don't want... OMG. This is impossible. I should have put my boots on. Now my toes are all wet. I don't know. Well, I guess if I'm live on TikTok and there's anybody watching, I can't see, so I don't know what's going on. Don't beat the way still in my heart. They don't feel at all. I don't know. We'll see. I think the plan is to go sturgeon fishing. Whether I stream it or stream the whole thing, that's TBD. I don't want it to take away from the fun, and I also don't want to do hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of editing to remove copyrighted music because last weekend got completely taken down. YouTube is much different. Hi, Buzz. Welcome in. Good to have you. Good to have you. I'm glad you're new. You kind of, X the Buzzard X kind of seems like the name of somebody that would have about 100 fishing rods. Would that be somewhat accurate? You have a lot of fishing rods? You seem like the type of person with that name to have a lot of fishing rods. You borrow $1? Wow, I had no idea I was in a Ron Cleveland stream. But sure, yeah, I'll borrow you $1 later today. Hey, you bet. You bet. Friends help friends. Good morning, Mama Saying. Thank you. Welcome. Happy weekend. Why are you getting so excited? Is there a big fish coming to eat you? Buzzard, have you ever watched the YouTube channel? I forget the exact name of it. Ragical. It's Ragical something something something. I know, cool story, right? He does like body cam videos, but the dude is, it's maybe one of the funniest channels on YouTube. It is freaking hilarious. It seems a little weird at first, but then you kind of, if you watch it, oh yeah, it's so good. He's so funny. It's like he does the body cam videos, and then it's like a cartoon, and he's got a castle in the background and a cow, and he's like a knight, like a medieval knight, and he's standing by a big ring of fire. He makes comments, does commentary. Is pretty funny. Let me look. Let me look on my phone. Radical. What is it? Radical the Unhallowed Night. Radical, like magical, but with an R. The Unhallowed Night. That is the channel. It's pretty good. You should check it out. It's pretty good. Yeah, I thought maybe tomorrow would be a perfect day to set up on a tripod outside, no house, and just throw up a couple tip-ups, but holy cow. We'd have to put like a shiner. We'd have to try to find a shiner, or I suppose you could put, if I could find some frozen smelt or something. Horizons unknown. I think I hooked that suckerman a little too far in the back. It's a little oblong. I'm getting all excited for. It feels like the water is a little more clear. It's still not as clear as it used to be, but it feels like it's more clear than it was last weekend. So apparently I am live on TikTok, but I have no idea how to view it or see it or anything. Not a clue. Not a clue. Oh. Show that white belly off. That's alright. That's alright. the fish at? Where the fish at? Oh. Holy cow. Yeah, that's not working for me. Yeah, no, that's definitely didn't work for me. That is not working for me. So maybe I'll have to make a different TikTok account or something. Not working. I should have wore I should have wore warmer socks, knowing I wasn't gonna probably wear my boots. Oh well. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, I did bring my coffee in here. Nice. So far we have only seen one big bass. Could have thrown the teaser balls down today instead of the decoy, I guess. Ugh, if I can remember. No. Oh. How is there not a search? Oh, he's not dead. He's not dead. All right, so then I'm going to go back to this because that's easier. Yeah, so apparently you cannot see your own live on TikTok. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. Somebody's making their way out. Making their way in the world today. Takes everything you got. Wouldn't you like to know the word? I haven't watched the show Cheers in a long time. The troubles are all the same. Ooh, I haven't even taken my there we go. While I buzzard, are you guys planning on being there at 1 o'clock or a different time or? The troubles are all the same. Why did it do that now? The usual? Okay. But we're trying, did I hear right? We're going to the other side of the bridge this time? Okay, okay. Good morning, Scratching. No, we've seen one pretty big bass. Otherwise, it has been dead. We haven't seen anything, not even a bluegill, not anything. Yeah, there was sucker minnows were hard to come by this morning. They were hard to come by. So we got 4 decoy sucker minnows. This is the smallest of the 4. I think the other 3 I could take home and fillet up and have a meal. How are you doing this morning, Blaine? Or Scratching? Not sure. Not sure what to call you. Yeah, that's. I'm guessing that is the case. I kind of suggested to the guy, if you don't have any other suckers, take the signs down. But they have the signs up and as if they have them still. I think there was 3 guys that came in after me looking for sucker minnows. No, nope. We're gonna probably another hour, and then we're gonna head to the river and go for some sturgeon again. Blaine is good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's beautiful out. We're on the ice. We haven't seen anything other than that one big bass, but that's okay. We're on the ice. We don't have a heater on. We're in our tennis shoes. Could be a lot worse, right? Okay, let's see. Um, Surprisingly, almost none. Uh, the landing was a little mushy and slushy, but otherwise, the surface of the ice is great. Ooh, he's getting all sorts of excited. I was expecting it to be a bit of a sloppy mess, but it's surprisingly it's not. I'm sure by the end of tomorrow it will be. But as it sits right now, other than I had to do a little extra or try to do some more banking because all the snow on the side, so it's still letting in a lot of light, which made me think I need to build, like, make some sort of a black sleeve to go around the whole block off in instances like this where there's no snow to bank to try to block out that light. I think that would be pretty doable. Wouldn't need to be anything fancy, just some black. Yeah, some black plastic or something, and I'm sure there's a way to figure it out. I don't remember if I brought my aerator or not for the bait bucket. Surprisingly, there was only about there was a little bit more like on the edges of the hole when I chiseled it out, but there was only about a half inch of ice to chisel out. It wasn't too bad. Also wasn't very cold this week. I'd like to have at least one pike come in and hit it. Here, pikey, 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 pikey. Oh, they're talking rain? Gross. I thought I saw snow in the forecast for Tuesday. Then I thought after Monday it was cooled off. And when I say cooled off, like in the 20s, with some nights in the teens. But it didn't look like it was going to be in the 50s all week. Well, next weekend, I don't know what exactly is going to happen next weekend. Next weekend there's something going on almost every weekend now. Next weekend is a Pike tournament. I don't know if we're actually doing it or not. The weekend after that, I think, is Sturgeon Con. Maybe talk with the boys today or tonight, this afternoon, see if we can get a mid-March Lake of the Woods tip-up extravaganza going. That would be fun. Can you imagine being on Lake of the Woods this weekend with 40s and 50s? Oh, that would be awesome. Just sitting out in lawn chairs, waiting for a big 40-plus inch pike to hit your tip up. Oh, baby. Well, I'm guessing we could use the moisture, right? I mean, we really haven't gotten that much snow this year. Which I'm not necessarily complaining about, but we're getting to that point where we're going to start needing some moisture at some point. I missed you. I missed you too, zombie. I did see that you sent me some snaps, and I know I haven't looked at them because I'm awful. And wearing some, yeah, right. That was one of the most fun days I've ever had. And maybe it was, and we didn't even catch. I think we only caught like one or two pike at most. But man, we just sat out. It was like 42 degrees on Lake of the Woods. We just sat out in our chairs on the ice, got sunburn, wearing sunglasses, and drank a snaky load of beer. Just not much activity. I wasn't really sure what to expect today with the super warm weather. But it's been super warm for the last, what, 2 days? 2-ish days? So I would think, I would have thunk that the pressure would have been, I didn't even look at the pressure. fair amount and fish white bass. I tell you what, we've gone to, I've never fished Wabe in the winter, but I've fished it a number of times on open water in the summer. And that was that was always the plan. We'd go fish for white bass for the first few hours, like in the afternoon, or you'd fish for walleye in the morning, and then you'd go cast for white bass, and then you'd wait for the late afternoon walleye bite. They're a lot of fun to catch. I'm hoping to get down to the Mankato area at some point this spring and do a little fly fishing. Got a connection down there. My buddy Greg, his brother lives down in that area, I think, somewhere down in that area. And he also wants to teach me how to do rod building. He's got all the equipment, he's got doubles, and he's like, I'd be happy to let you take some of the equipment and start to learn. No, I think that would be fun. Still want to, well, I've carved decoys, not to the finish line, but I would still like to do that. Carve one, get it to the finish line, paint it as good as I could, and use it. I would love to spear a fish with one of my decoys that I made down the hole. I think that would be awesome. You can never get the flies to bite the hook, right? I've only been fly fishing one time. I loved it. I had a lot of fun. But I showed up, and the dude that was taking me out, he brought an extra fly rod and everything, and we stood on the road practicing casting. Come on, where are the fish? Yeah, we don't have a heater or anything going today. I'm in tennis shoes and regular socks, sweatshirt, no heater. Makes things a lot easier. So here's a fun nugget. My neighbor stopped by and put a phone on that he found at the end of my driveway. And it's dead. It won't even charge. But I have no idea whose phone it is. I opened up, or I took the case off, and lo and behold, there's a credit card inside, like on the back side of the phone, between the phone and the case. Of course, that has a name on it. So I do some Googling, and the name that pops up is somebody that was, I think they pled guilty to part of that $250 million fraud case. Now I'm assuming it's not that person, because I think they've been in jail for a while already. But it was just like, oh God, ugh. if I should call the sheriff or... I'm sure it's just another person with the same name, even though the name is not what I would typically say as a usual name. He's getting all sorts of excited again. I don't see anything, even on the peripheral. You know, and I don't know with having this much light showing in underneath the hole, like right here, the hole. Even over there, there's just not much snow to bank. So I don't know if that extra light might be impacting things too. Fish might be less likely to come in. What's up, Mac? That is a Keith Shermer's decoy. You got it. That sure is. That is a Keith Shermer's decoy. You got 3 of them? I plan on getting some more from Keith. Problem is I want I want some decoys from a bunch of people. And you know, they're not free and they're not cheap. Crappy red and white and yellow white, nice. Yeah, I know. I was just saying a little earlier, I've made some attempts at carving some decoys, and I've carved some, and they'd look okay. I have not gotten them to the point where I put lead in them or the fins or anything like that. I would love to. I would love to make, not to sell, I'm not trying to be a Keith Shermer's or anybody else, but I just think it would be cool to make your own decoy and use it and spear a fish with it. I think that would be pretty badass. I am, if you know where Keith is, I'm within 20 minutes of him right now. You're in the Painesville area? Okay. I grew up in that area. I'm probably 40 minutes away from you, ish. I'm trying to remember. It was Painesville. What was the... Yeah, I got you. I went out and bought a belt sander and got the Dremel tools and got all the carving stuff. And I've done it. I've carved a few, and a few of them I thought looked pretty decent. I just never brought them to the finish line. One of them for sure. Probably if I would have put fins and lead in it. I mean, I can't promise how well it's going to swim, you know, but I could at least put it down the hole. What is the Painesville? Oh, that's going to drive me crazy. I can see it. I know it's Painesville's green. Their colors are green. Yeah, right. Yeah, I didn't put the teaser balls down today. I was I could have instead of the Keith Shermer's decoy, I could have put the teaser balls down today, or instead of the live suckers, that would have been it. I mean, if they wouldn't have had any suckers at all, that's what we would have done. We would have went with the decoy and the teaser balls. The bulldogs. That's right. I knew it. I'm a Spartan. If you know what that, if you catch that drift, I'm an ex-Spartan. I don't think the camera doesn't show it, but I was talking about this last weekend too. I started doing this year. I've got a mirror mounted to the trap door that's flipped up. So sitting and I've got it angled, kind of barely tilted, so I can see what if anything's coming from underneath me. And it's definitely helped out a number of times so far this year. Yeah, well, I'd rarely go spearing in February, mostly because it sucks cutting through 24 to 30 inches of ice. Yeah, I'm better on the back. Exactly. And I know somebody was talking last weekend about how they put their camera down, which that's a pretty good idea too. But just put the camera down and kind of angle it down underneath. That's not a terrible idea either. But yeah, no, I don't do a whole lot of spearing in February either. But last weekend was fire. we saw we saw so many fish that I was hopeful. I'm like, well, give it another shot. We're gonna do the spearing today, this morning, and then we'll head down to the St. Croix, and we're gonna go for some sturgeon this afternoon and this evening. Get out with the fellas. Yeah, um, I'd say I'm in about 7, 8 feet. Now, just this way, it drops off really quick. And just this way, it goes shallow really quick. So I'm kind of right on that ledge. And we were set up in December about 10 to 12 feet that way. And we saw a lot of fish, and a lot of the fish that we saw were always coming through on this ridge. So last weekend we moved. Last Friday night I came out here and I moved the house, turned it, and it was phenomenal. We've had really good luck in this spot. We've seen a lot of fish this year. We have not moved more than 10 feet total, maybe 15 feet total, just in this little spot. And so far, this has been the slowest of any day that we've been out. Every other time, we've seen a whole bunch of fish and a lot of big pike. The one last weekend was fun. That was a nice fish. And of course, I always say it. I always try. I'm always hopeful that a big old muskie is going to swim through because we are in the muskie zone on this lake, And we've had it once, and every single time I come out, I'm always hopeful that a muskie is going to come in. I haven't even brought the other spear shack out. We took it out a couple times early ice. We tried one new lake with it, and now it's been just sitting in my garage. Actually, I bought that spear house. You'd be familiar with this. I bought my other spear house from a dude in the Roscoe area. Just went and picked it up from him December. All aluminum. It is light as a feather, which is great, but at the same time, when I brought it out on this lake at early ice, I didn't realize how windy it was until I got out here, and holy buckets. It was like a hold on for dear life. That thing was, I was holding on. Thank God I had cleats on, because it blew off the sled and it was just whipping all over the place, and I was holding on like crazy. Oh yeah, the hub styles in the wind. That's what I've always used, the hub styles, the last 6-7 years spearing, and I've always liked them because they're roomy. The Eskimo Fatfish 989. Got the floor, the rubber or the matte floor that I've got the spear hole cut out in the middle. Works out really nice. But it's a pain in the rear end to set up, and you have to set up. This is the first year I've had an actual permanent house, spear house, out on a lake. And I tell you what, it has been it has been awesome. You know, you come out, when I moved, I had to drill the new holes and cut the hole, but once it's there and once you're set up, you come in, you chisel, you clean out the hole and set up your heater, and you're off and running. You can't beat it. You can't beat that. Rather than trying to set up, you gotta drill the holes and cut the hole and pull the ice out, set up the hub, the floor. It's a whole ordeal. So it's been kind of nice to just be able to drive out, open the door, chisel a hole, set up the chair. Good morning, Cetra. How are you doing, buddy? We are doing our first ever multi-stream on YouTube and TikTok. Oh no. Mac, what are the odds you have Discord? You do? Ooh. You just woke up? Well, you're West Coast, etc., so that's acceptable. Let me see if I can figure this out. Come on, keep swimming. You gotta show off that belly. We're gonna have to pack up soon. Want to see at least one fish. I will, Mac, I'll find you after stream, and I'll shoot you a message on TikTok. We have not seen jack squat walleye. We've just seen that one big bass at the beginning. Otherwise, we haven't seen nothing. Not even a bluegill. Nothing. I might drive over when I leave. I might drive over to those guys and see if they want these sucker minnows. I can't imagine they're gonna want them. I think they're doing tip-ups. I mean, you could use them for tip-ups, but they're freaking big. This sucker minnow is the smallest of the group that I got. It is. I don't know that I'd be using it for tip-ups. It's so cool when somebody comes into your stream and sees your decoy and knows exactly who made that decoy. It's crazy. It's pretty cool. Yes, yep, exactly. That's my favorite part about using the hubs. Like if I know I'm gonna be spearing with somebody, I'll use the hub house 100% of the time. It's so much more room, and you can have one across from each other. Oh yeah, the floor, having the floors is a game changer for those hubs. Um, my buddy that will be with the rest of the day today when we're sturgeon fishing, he just got the new Jiffy Fish House, the double, the base camp, and that floor. I mean, that was the cat's meow. Having that floor, it's a game changer. Oh, we have the clam spearfisher. Okay, okay. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do next weekend. We've been flirting with. Well, I'm sure we'll finalize the plans this afternoon, tonight. But I think we talked about on Sturgeon Con, which is I think the last weekend in February, kind of making an event out of it and potentially bringing some generators and setting up some smokers and smoking some meat while we fish. If the weather allows, I think that'd be pretty fun. I've always wanted to bring a smoker out onto the ice and smoke some ribs while you're fishing. Boy, we just haven't seen anything. It has been the Dead Sea. Yeah, this was super murky last week. There was apparently a tournament on this lake too, and there was just a ton of driving. And of course, ooh, he's getting super nervous. He's swimming up to the ice. Of course, my spear house is kind of right in the way of everybody trying to get on and drive on the lake. They've got two roads. Well, they had two roads plowed that were. I was kind of right in the middle of the Y. But there was an insane amount of traffic of trucks and cars and big fish houses. The water's definitely cleared up a fair amount since last weekend, but it's still not as clear as it used to be, or it has been in the past. This used to be just like you didn't even know there was water there. Oh, there's a bass. See if he comes back into the hole. I don't know if you guys can see him or not. I gotta find where I put my tip up. I know I have the round one, the round insulated one. But I got a Vexen one. I love the Vexen ones. If you haven't seen the Vexen tip ups, Mac, go to vexen.com. You get 15% off with discount code ITO for inside the outside. Their tip ups are freaking sweet. And they're affordable. And you get 15% off. But they just kind of fold, collapse right up. You can put 6 or 8 of them in a bucket. They're slick. They're some of the cooler tip ups that I've seen. I think I have it on my my Vexen tip up. I have up on my garage thingy that raises and lowers. See if that truck scares anything over here. Come on, spook something over here. I know, right? It was cracking like crazy last weekend. I think you can also get to the Vexen website. I think it's scrolling down across the bottom too, but from the inside the outside.net, you can get to anything on there too. Yeah, right. I know, that's so cool. Ice cracking reminds you of the Star Wars movies. Oh my God, dude! I've been craving going crappie fishing. I tried a few weeks ago. One of the viewers and I met up and went fishing. Had pulled the drop house out on Buffalo Lake. Caught a couple tiny perch and no crappies, but I've been really wanting to go crappie fishing and catch some crappies. I threatened myself all week that I was going to go out some night this past week and just never made it out. All 11 and 12 inches. Nice. Nice. Yeah, that'd be fun. That would be fun. I need to get on some crappies. But I think we'll have plenty of ice in March to go out for crappies. But maybe I could sneak out some night this week. It depends if we're going to do any podcast recording or not. And if we do, what night? I bet with that weather system coming in on Tuesday, they might be biting on Tuesday. If the pressure is going to be dropping. What are you all nervous for? The crappies are biting around your area. I mean, I'd offer to take you out, Greystone, but I know you don't want to go out on the ice, so. But if you tell me where they're going, I'll go. I'll catch some fish, and then you can eat them. I'll catch you some fish. Come on. Can we see one pike today? Can we pretty please see one pike today? Or a muskie? I've got a lake that's really close to my house for crappies. The problem is it gets fished so hard. And if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I fished it. I've speared on it once. There's a lot of big pike on that lake, which is shocking. But the water clarity is god awful. Goes another truck, see if it spooks anything over this way. The size of the crappies are not that big. And I would guess they're not getting any bigger with how hard it's gotten fished in the winter the last handful of years. Yeah, there you go. No, I know nobody ever likes to give up their spot or their lake. Personally, I don't care. Uh, the main reason I don't give out my exact location when I'm streaming is just because but if I'm just talking to another fisherman, I don't care. I don't own the lake. I don't own the fish. One of the goals of fishing is to have fun, right? And catching fish is fun. So if I know where some fish are biting, I have no problem with telling somebody. And maybe I'm a little different because most of my stuff other than spearing is catch and release for the most part. Not always, but for the most part. And I know not everybody is that way. That's the lake by you too. It's got crappies. They're just fish. It gets fished hard and they're not that big. Yeah. But it's so convenient. It's so close. I mean, it's within 5 or 10 minutes. You walk out the door, you're fishing in 20 minutes. So it's nice and convenient. especially once you can drive out. Well, I'll make that thread again this week that I try to get out crappie fishing some night this week. Well, not looking promising here. I would have to hire security. I don't know about that. Oh, here comes a pike. Pike coming in from underneath us. Pike coming in from underneath. There we go. Got one. Sat there patiently. We waited patiently and got rewarded. It's a decent fish. And perfect timing. Mirror for the win, that's right. I did, I saw it coming in on the mirror. And perfect timing, because it's time to go catch some sturgeon. Nice. Yeah. Whoop whoop. Yeah, that is a good eater. Yep, now it's time for some sturgeon. Now it's time for some sturge. Let me get organized here a little bit. I had to give up my pike last weekend for somebody else. I wanted to eat it. So this time I get my own fish. I finally get to eat some pike. I love pike. Fry up some pike tomorrow. Yeah, that is the perfect. I didn't bring my tape measure in here, but it's the only one we're going to take today. So it's going to be right around that 22-inch mark. 20 to 22. The spear slipped through my hands though. I don't like to hit the bottom, but it didn't mess anything up really. I decided to take the shot at him because he looked like he was going to turn and get the heck out of Dodge. Yeah, that was all mirror. That was all thanks to the mirror, being able to see that fish come in ahead of time. Okay. Yeah. Got one. swim free. Go get eaten. Oh, you guys, I forgot to tell last weekend on Sunday when we were leaving, I'd already turned the stream off, and I took the sucker minnow and I let the sucker minnow go. And as it was swam down that way, and all of a sudden I saw a pike go shooting across. That thing got annihilated, I guarantee it. That pike must have been sitting on the edge, watching that thing for a while. It just never came into the hole. Alrighty. Yeah, pike are delicious. Pike is my favorite fish to eat, honestly. Mac, I'll send you a DM here shortly. Otherwise, I'm gonna end stream now so I can pack up the stuff, get on the road, head down to the St. Croix, and meet up with the boys and see if we can catch some sturgeon tonight. So we'll probably be back live in just an hour or 2 hours or so. We'll be back.